climate and environment has been a huge concern. There are specific goals and we can see what specific targets we want to look at. And the seventh one is the governance kind of aspect, which I think actually works very well in a national context. Because as I was saying, in a global context, a lot of other sensitivities come in. They'll say that, the imperialist countries, USA will use it to go into Iraq, and they'll say you are not governing yourself very well, so I'll go in and basically I'll take money from your oil. So those kind of things are also always brought into a global debate. But governance at national level, local level, or sub-regions, we can talk very, very strongly about it as citizens. So I was suggesting these 7 initial clusters, and we can then take up anything else after this. Okay? So I'll sit down. I also have severe allergy from the morning, so if I'm continuously sneezing, don't mind. Okay, so food, agriculture and land-related issues. तो उसपे आई थिंक कविता ने कल हम लोग को अच्छा he gave us a very concrete idea of the key concerns और उसपे कुछ discussion भी हुआ था. So कविता, maybe you can just because you also had some specific inputs, right? Yesterday which you had suggested.
I also created a certain kind of formulation drawing from the background notes that were there and so on. But I do want to point out that there's a practical issue for some sectors like agriculture. Because
who's taking notes? We don't take notes, but you are, right?
This doesn't apply to all domains or sectors that we're talking about, but for land, food and agriculture, it seems a bit of a futile exercise to start. That's okay. To start drawing up goals and so on after the country goes through processes of enacting legislations around food security and around land. So, it doesn't mean anything to articulate our dream goals after very intense processes have been run in the country. So, I want to flag that as an issue for the House. It's okay to begin saying that we want land to be viewed like this by the government, we want food security to be this way or that way. But we moved far away from that already. So, what does this whole business about articulating our goals actually mean in reality?
We could go beyond the law. I mean, in the sense that there are problems. For example, criticism of the food security. If we want to go beyond that, from what are reality?
It's not easy. Ranja, we can always articulate. Many of us have already articulated what we are working for. But after something is cast in a law, and we have at the state level really bad examples like the Rajasthan draft land acquisition bill at the state level, which wants to go back on a bad legislation, somewhat okay, but many problematic areas at the national level. When things are moving in another direction, articulating is not the only thing that we should be discussing. That is what I'm saying. I can, work and rework with a group of people on, let's say, agricultural land and food sovereignty, and we can come up with a very fantastic statement. I could project something, we could all work on it, but I would rather we dwell on, where exactly is this effort headed after having
I think that's the idea which we want to kind of explore after lunch. Like first we want to kind of simply put it, and I understand what you're saying, but our idea is simply to still say, okay, the law is going in a different direction, etc. But this is what we would have really wanted. And then we explore ways of how we push that. And that's why we are having the post-lunch strategy session to suggest how we should work on it. But we need to kind of first agree on the basic context.
Yeah, when we discuss these 7 clusters, or let's say on agriculture, land, it's important to, of course, think of the position of the government on these issues. I mean, it should not be different from of course, whether it's encouraging, discouraging, whatever, we would have wanted things to be in a certain way and they're not going in that direction or something. I mean, I'm not saying that we have to really do what the government is suggesting, but it's also important to check the pulse and see that how, they will take these suggestions or what is practical, the kind of, if there is any option that we can kind of, so I am just saying that one is aspirational goals, that this is what we would have done, but be a little more probably practical in our approach and try to see. And it's also coming from, of course, engagement of government at global level. Of course, you were there and you saw the response of the government. And what is taken forward on SDGs at national level, how we engage with the government, is going to be largely, of course, guided by what is being told to, let's say, different departments here to take things forward by, let's say, MEA or something. It's basically, that's how it's getting guided, So I was just saying that, let's keep that in mind, and because so many things will come during the discussion, this should be there, that should be there. So I just wanted to kind of keep that as a criteria, when we are discussing that.
I think one thing is, you are saying that still when India negotiates at the General Assembly, we need to put pressure so that they have certain positions, they improve their positions, or at least their positions do not worsen. That's one. But the other thing is the implementation, which is not through MEA, it is through the line ministries. Once the document is approved, then it gets implemented here, and then how we understand it, use it, interpret it, goes in through the line ministries, I guess. So, but I totally agree that the reality of what is currently happening, what the laws are giving, we should we should definitely keep that as our reference point, and then critique it or, support it probably much less, but whatever, if you want to move forward. But I think that aspirational part is also important in the sense that what we would have, through these laws will change, whatever, but then what would be ideally what do we see would really work, that kind of thing, and then how do you then reference it to the current reality, current laws, and have specific suggestions on moving forward.
Sorry.
The question is, would it be more useful to somehow get India to stick to whatever's there, not even go back on that? Would it be better to spend our time figuring out whether anything can be improved on the stated goals? I heard all the discussions yesterday about how the processes from now on are not crystal clear and so on. But I'm just wondering, as organizers, do you want to think about, I know that the reason why you are doing this workshop is to nationalize the goals. But at this point of time, would it make better sense to spend our collective minds on how do we ensure at least those 17 goals stay there and are endorsed, if not just like that, in an improved fashion and so on by India? It may not be right now. We will go as per your plan, but maybe you want to schedule a time slot for that. And then get down to, what do we do at the national level, because like I keep saying, various movements and campaigns and others are figuring out best articulations possible, and pretty often when you go to do lobbying, you can't even lump some of the things that we are putting together at the global level into one list. When you go and meet, let's say, one agriculture minister here, he's going to immediately say, this is a state subject, don't even discuss this with me. Things like that.
Can I take a minute? I think what you are suggesting, Kavita, is very good, because even if we are going to have sustainable development goals, we will have to have a reference from what is already there. Until unless you do it, it will be very difficult to convince the government or lobby for the government. If you can say that this goal is already sort of committed by the government in this and this and this document or policy or program or something like that, then it will be far easier to talk about this. Otherwise, nationally, for civil society organizations, scope of influencing the government is increasingly decreasing. But if you bring in some sort of catch that this is already committed, then it might make a better sense. I think. मैं यही सिर्फ कहना चाह रहा था, I'll try to be bilingual, कि हम लोग goals बनाएं, लेकिन अगर उसका रेफरेंस पहले गवर्नमेंट की कोई पॉलिसी में कमिटमेंट है, उससे अगर आता है और ये हम साइड कर सकें कि ये पहले आप लोगों ने कहा हुआ है, तो वो शायद बेहतर है। और ये जो प्रोसेस है, वो मुझे लगता है कि none of us are having the final word. We are still exploring how to do it. So all kinds of suggestions are most welcome.
But one thing is, I think Kavita's specific suggestion was two things. One is at the national level what we want and putting these things together. But the other thing is simply this SDG document as it stands, how do we kind of put pressure on the government to hold on to it or not, right? Something like a strategy. So Kavita, I was saying for that part, maybe during the strategy session, we give some time as to if we roughly agree with these. Firstly, we also don't know whether everybody agrees with those 17 goals and those targets, right? So if they do roughly, I mean, if you have kind of at least go through that document quickly, and then after lunch, we could, first part of the strategy session, we could discuss how, given this global position and given that these SDGs, how do we then talk to the government, either supporting it or asking it that you don't dilute it further, or we want them to strengthen something, etc. The second part is the part which as Ajay said, is a long process. We just want to start and kind of get response, so we can then do a more detailed, more region-specific consultation. And as you said, a lot of material, these concerns expressed, they have been articulated already. So in a way, because this globalist process is going on, it gives us an opportune moment to maybe pull all those together, have like a document, have like a reference thing with us that okay, these are what we would have gotten. This works nationally, and we need a lot of work to put that together. We put in, I mean, like all of you are here to give us that you know, our groups have been already articulating these concerns. So that in a kind of, unfortunately in a distilled manner over here. So we try to kind of put it together, and then we see in the strategy session how we work with it. So, yeah. Vijay, then Anisa.
एक तो ये लग रहा है मुझे कि 17 जो गोल्स हैं उसका डुअल स्ट्रेटेजी होनी चाहिए कि इंटर गवर्नमेंटल प्रोसेस है, तो कोई भी पूरा ग्लोबल राइट असर्शन और इमरजेंस का जो फिनोमिनन है उसको दिमाग में रखते हुए गोइंग बैक ना हो, इतने को स्टिक करें, ये एक है। और उसके लिए जनरल एकेडमिक थ्योरेटिकल ब्राह्मणिकल डिस्कशन हम में आपस में फाइन ट्यूनिंग के लिए होता रहे, वो ठीक नहीं है। उसको मोबिलाइज एनजीओ मोबिलाइजेशनल मोड विद मीडिया एंड अदर एक्टिविस्ट एंड सोशल मूवमेंट्स, NAPM लाइक, वो कैसे करना है। और सिर्फ NAPM उदाहरण लिया मैंने, हर सेक्टर के काफ़ी बड़े नेटवर्क्स हैं आंदोलनों के, उनको लेते हुए इन 17 में जितना भी प्रोग्रेसिव एलिमेंट है उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट स्टिक करे। और उसके लिए जो आप कह रही थी रीजनल, तो दोनों रीजनल, हमारे जो सोशल कैपिटल ग्लोबली है, अफ्रीका में, साउथ अमेरिका में और एशिया में, वहाँ भी हो और हिंदुस्तान के रीजनल में भी हो। इसके लिए आप जो लोग UN प्रोसेसेस फॉलो करते हैं वो सेल्फ अपॉइंट अपने आप को एक क्लियरिंग हाउस या टीम करें, हम लोग जो भी मदद कर सकेंगे वो करेंगे। एक तो ये बात कहनी है। अब इससे उल्टी अपनी बात के खिलाफ एक जो टेंशन वाली बात है वो ये है कि इसमें से बहुत चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जो जैसे टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफ़र है, तो उसमें पूरा पिक्चर पढ़ने के बाद पूरा पिक्चर ये बनता है कि सब टेक्नोलॉजी उन्हीं के पास है और वो हमको देंगे। जबकि हमारे यहाँ के वाटर सिस्टम्स को उसने कैसे मैसअप किया, हमारे पंजाब में कैसे कैंसर पैदा किया है, हमारी टॉक्सिसिटी वाटर बॉडीज कैसे हुई हैं, हमारे अर्बनाइजेशन का कंसेप्शन और स्मार्ट सिटीज का कंसेप्शन कैसे डिस्ट्रक्टिव है। और ये सब आइडियाज और कंसेप्शंस नॉर्थ से आए हैं। एक मार्केट फंडामेंटलिस्ट जो आज से नहीं, इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन के बाद से जो ग्रोथ फंडामेंटलिज्म है उससे जनरेटेड है, तो उसकी डीकंस्ट्रक्टिंग टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर में सस्टेनेबल टेक्नोलॉजीज पीपल्स टेक्नोलॉजी, जैसे चाइना ने अपना रेवोल्यूशन के तुरंत बाद 50% बजट इंडिजिनस नॉलेज सिस्टम और 50% एलोपैथी के लिए किया। अब पूरी ग्लोबल मार्केट का 54% जो है हर्बल का वो कंट्रोल करते हैं। हमारा शेयर ग्लोबल मार्केट में, ये लेटेस्ट फिगर नहीं है, 10 कुछ साल पहले का है, 4% था। तो इस चाइना को उस सस्टेनेबल गोल में ना हेल्थ में वो बात कहने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि उन्होंने अपना नेशनल ठीक करके रखा है। लेकिन हम जो कि सस्ती ड्रग्स के एक्सपोर्टर हैं, उसके बारे में IPR में, ट्रेड WTO में उल्टा है कि हमारे जो सस्ती ड्रग्स हम एक्सपोर्ट ना कर सकें। अगर ये 17 गोल में ट्रेड वाला सेक्शन इंप्लीमेंट होता है तो वैसे ही उसी तरह से हेल्थ वाले में वैक्सीनेशन का, बिल गेट मिलिंडा का नया जो धंधा है वो वैक्सीनेशन पैदा करने का। तमाम अमेरिका की कंपनियां जो हैं वो लेस देन एथिकल क्लिनिकल ट्रायल से, ऑलमोस्ट विदाउट क्लिनिकल ट्रायल से वो वैक्सीनेशन बेचना चाहते हैं पूरी दुनिया में मार्केट। और हिंदुस्तान अगर वैक्सीनेशन को मान लेता है अनक्रिटिकली, तो उनका जो फार्मास्यूटिकल इंडस्ट्री का वो है वो टल जाएगा। उसी तरह से हमारी सरकार एश्योरेंस मिशन बना रही है, जिसमें एश्योरेंस से ज्यादा इंश्योरेंस होगा। और पूरी दुनिया की इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर का जो क्राइसिस है, पूरी दुनिया का मतलब US led by US and in US primarily, इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज का क्राइसिस रिजॉल्व हो जाएगा, क्योंकि पूरे हिंदुस्तान के टैक्स पेयर से पैसा जुटा के इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज को दे देना है, उसके बाद वो हेल्थ के लिए मिलेगा। तो इसके जो 17 गोल्स हैं उनको बहुत माइन्यूटली उस सेक्टर में जो काम कर रहे लोग हैं उनकी मीटिंग्स हम कर सकते हैं क्या UN प्रोसेस, और वो कोई एक यहाँ आए हुए भी लोग नहीं कर सकते। उसको अपने को लार्जर एक alliance has to be the permanent mode, the kind of rightward drift is। और उसमें आशा की ओर से कविता is my support is there। कविता is competent to we have possibility of 4 small meetings। 2 SEDET has to organize on agriculture, sustainable agriculture, and 2 the national collective of ASHA has to do it। So हम लोग उन 4 एग्रीकल्चर की मीटिंग, और वो अगले 1 महीने में ही हम कर सकते हैं। सेकंड अब से लेके सेकंड हाफ ऑफ सितंबर तक उसकी प्लानिंग कर लें, तो उसके बाद जो है उसमें एग्रीकल्चर के तमाम ग्रुप्स को बुला के, उसी तरह से हेल्थ में सेडेट में एक ग्रुप है हेल्थ स्वराज करके, वो किसी से भी कोलैबोरेट करने को तैयार है। अभी 24 अगस्त को महाराष्ट्र का हेल्थ मैनिफेस्टो अभय शुक्ला और टीम की लीडरशिप में रिलीज होने जा रहा है। तो JSA का ऑलरेडी इलेक्शन से पहले भी हुआ था। हेल्थ स्वराज ने भी एक अपना इलेक्शन, पोस्ट इलेक्शन बनाया था। तो वी कैन ऑल एग्जामिन द डिटेल्स on health and health related, not just health वाले सेक्शन के, but health related जो women में है, water में है, उन सब को भी टॉक्सिसिटी वाला है, उन सब को लेके एक जगह करके और हेल्थ का एक अच्छा वर्कशॉप करें, जिसमें हम अपने क्रिटिकल इनपुट्स जो हैं वो दें। तो हेल्थ वाले में, एग्रीकल्चर वाले में हम इमीडिएटली कर सकते हैं। बियॉन्ड कोपेनहेगन में भी हम लोग कुछ कर सकते हैं, जिसके बारे में अजय इज मोर कॉम्पिटेंट टू, एंड जिस तरह से जितने शॉर्ट टाइम में ये अलायंस अजय ने पुट अप किया है, तो बियॉन्ड कोपेनहेगन की ओर से भी हम ये इकोलॉजिक क्लाइमेट क्राइसिस वाले टॉपिक्स पे आई वुड सजेस्ट कि हम लोग कुछ करें। इस तरह के सजेशन है। तो 2 हुए, एक पॉलिटिकल मोबिलाइजेशनल मोड वाला UN प्रोसेस से पहले, और दूसरा इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ व्हाट गोज इंटरगवर्नमेंटली ग्लोबली, हम लोग इन 17 के 17 गोल्स के बारे में क्रिटिकल हिसाब से, क्रिटिकल स्टेटमेंट्स, आवर इनपुट एंड पॉजिटिव ऑल्टरनेटिव ड्राफ्ट्स क्या होने चाहिए if we were in the forefront on behalf of our governments। ये 2 काम है। दूसरा काम ये जो है ये थोड़ा मीडियम टर्म है, पर शुरू इसको अभी करना चाहिए। जितना UN में हो जाए उतना अच्छा है, बाकी फिर बाद में होता ही रहेगा।
धन्यवाद। मेरा ये कहना है कि अभी हम लोग थोड़े एक दो ब्रीफ कमेंट्स ले सकते हैं, बाकी चर्चा हम लोग
क्योंकि विजय जी आपने काफी चीजें जो मैं बोलना चाह रही थी, I think is already covered. The only thing I wanted to say was, since the process is now going to be started and SDGs खुलेगा, बात होगी, तो मेरा ये कहना था कि जो हम प्रोसेस अभी ले जा रहे हैं नेशनलाइज करने का इसको, sometimes what happens, we are doing things on our own and it's going on, and then finally when it's kind of done, then we kind of involve government at that level, saying that ये CSO का ये statement है. My, I don't know if people can agree, disagree, would be to, for example, when we have UNGA happening mid-September, is it possible to have a statement from us kind of saying that, on these SDG scales, we kind of more or less, it's fine, and when it comes to indicators and specific, जो अभी कई लीडर्स ने बात की, हम particular sectors को फिर meeting करके critically analyze कर सकते हैं, लेकिन just to say that yes, this is what we have and we would like to engage in a process like this, and we have met, and this is a kind of a meeting and gathering that will be interested in nationalizing these goals, something like that.
At the UN General Assembly now in September, there is no session on post 2015. The modalities will be discussed before the General Assembly starts, so that will be discussed I think 9th and 10th September, and I'm not sure what the scope, probably there is no scope for reading out statements. I think mainly an intergovernmental process will discuss the modalities for negotiations. Negotiations will begin in January. And January onwards, we don't know what's the scope for civil society, etc. But we can always talk to our, that is always there. We can talk to MEA here, we can catch hold of Amit Nalam here, the UN mission, give him, whatever we want to say, that we can do. So, the feeling I'm getting is, one is what Kavita was suggesting, that going through these 17 goals to decide what is our feeling about it, and then talking to the government about it regarding the global negotiation. कि global negotiation पे ये position must है, इससे dilute ना करें, और ये चीज इतना अच्छा नहीं है, इसको strong बनाना चाहिए, इस type की thing, but basically influencing India's position for the global negotiation. विजय प्रताप जी आपने भी वो बोल रहे थे, लेकिन I think हमारा workshop का जो दूसरा intention था कि simultaneously उसके साथ ही हम जो national पे discussion चालू रखें, जो it's not limited by the sustainable development goals, हम उससे आगे बढ़ के जो globally possible नहीं है, nationally वो possible, वो obviously it's a complicated long, we are talking about so many development issues, as you said, together, which always do not, it's very difficult to then do advocacy based on that big one document which talks about so many things. लेकिन उसके एक शुरू कर इकट्ठा करके what is then the kind of, then we need further work on it, then we need like जैसे आपने बताया sector specific workshop, then we will do India के different कोने में, maybe we discuss all the issues but in every region, every corner of India करके उसको, it is a longer process, लेकिन उसको हम लोग चाह रहे थे कि उसका कुछ शुरुआत हम लोग करें. So I think we can pursue both the things because we have this time. मॉर्निंग सेशन कंटेंट पे बात करेंगे, उसके बाद स्ट्रैटेजी पे बात करेंगे, दोनों में ही हम लोग ये जो दो चीज, एक इंडिया's पोजीशन ग्लोबल नेगोशिएशन पे और एक हम लोग अंदर क्या और भी एम्बिशियस हम लोग क्या करना चाहेंगे उस पे बात करेंगे. सो वी स्टार्ट विद एग्रीकल्चर एंड
सॉरी टू हैव ओपन सर. ये प्रोजेक्शन का ब्राइटनेस बढ़ा सकते हैं, थोड़ा बढ़ाएं. हाँ बस. Okay, so I have given some numbers which form the justification as to why direct interventions on farm livelihoods are important to address hunger, food sovereignty and the livelihoods themselves. It's very clear that the largest numbers of poor are in rural India and the majority of people are living off agriculture. आज के दिन भी आप देखेंगे कि सेंसस के हिसाब से 65% of female workers are working in agriculture and 49.8, let's say 50% of the male workers. So we're talking about 263 million people in all. और अगर poor के numbers देखेंगे 81% rural India में है. और कल से जो मैं बता रही थी कि we have forgotten that food producers are themselves getting impoverished, and they are also food consumers, and therefore we have to think about improving their livelihoods to tackle poverty directly, and a variety of other goals get addressed in the process of dealing with farm livelihoods. एक तो hunger का goal, दूसरा है gender and women's empowerment के goals कुछ हद तक, बहुत हद तक you would be able to meet them by addressing issues of women farmers. You can also make millions of small farmers in this country environmental stewards who will make sure that आगे जाके जो resource conservation का काम करना है, आप इन सबकी सहायता से कर पाएंगे if you shift towards sustainable agriculture. So even your goals related to sustainable production, environmental sustainability related goals and so on can be met if you make major shifts in how you do farming. And inequality related issues also. We know that the intersectoral disparity, अब 7वां पे कमीशन के बाद बताया जा रहा है कि the people who are drawing about 1 lakh rupees now as their monthly income are likely to get about 3 lakhs. And in agriculture, incomes there are micro studies that are showing कि income या तो decline हो रहा है या stagnant है. जो intersectoral disparity बढ़ने वाला है इंडिया में between agriculture and other sectors, it's going to be tremendous. It's going to be highly shameful for the country. So for a variety of goals to be met, I would think that there's no other direct and beneficial way than to tackle farm livelihoods straight away, and that's the ground building, if you like, that I had tried to do here with a few things. It's also shown through studies that जो growth farm incomes को नहीं बढ़ाता है, वो poverty से deal नहीं कर पाएगा, is something that's a well-established thing. So it seems so obvious that you should be doing something in this sector. So the way I have gone about it is to pick up the SDG as created on July 17. And I have also got some background notes that Ajay had forwarded where some groups seem to have worked even around June 30th to improve on those goals, and some very good inputs have already gone into it. I don't think it's too limiting to begin with this goal. I don't think we need to start on a fresh canvas. It's not that bad, especially if you make the MDG as your benchmark. There's quite a bit of improvement, so I have also begun there. So the way I have formulated it, and if you go on looking at this paper, you will be able to see where the differences have come in. Look at goal 2 on page 6. I've said end hunger by ensuring food sovereignty to achieve food and nutrition security through promotion of sustainable agriculture and sustainable farm livelihoods. Towards the end of this small note, I also try to define what is sustainable agriculture, what could be sustainable farm livelihoods. हाँ मैं तो यहाँ पढ़ूंगी, आप लोगों के लिए इंटरप्शन. हाँ
नहीं मतलब ये वो आपने कहा
तो
लीड चेंज
right.
Increase the light level.
Right. So into the goal itself. Right. Right. This will be the first thing. Okay, like I said, I tried to weave in food sovereignty into the goal and not make sustainable agriculture as a separate sub-goal, but to say that you can deal with food sovereignty and hunger essentially through sustainable agriculture and sustainable farm livelihood. So I use the term through promotion of sustainable agriculture and आपको कम करना पड़ेगा. that work?
Bring it down.
कम मतलब